Now we're headed over to the primary bedroom, which is the moment you've been waiting for. But before we head on over there, welcome to Irvine, California, right next to Newport Beach. Irvine gets a bad rap of being too cookie cutter, too many franchise type of establishments. But a lot of that has changed, I have to admit, over the last few years. You have Diamond Jamboree Plaza, and then what's going on with what the Irvine company had just built is the Summit over at Orchard Hills. The Summit consists of two sub-communities by Toll Brothers. The first one is the Pinnacle, and then the other one is called Skyline, which is higher up. Irvine is really desperately trying to ditch that kind of that reputation of being cookie cutter and very sterile. And what this community brings is it brings a luxurious community that's more reminiscent of what you'd find over in Newport Beach or even Newport Coast. So we're going to go through the Pinnacle properties. I'm going to take you on a model tour and take you through some of the typical elements of a Toll Brothers home. What you're going to see, you have to keep in mind that the Toll Brothers models, they're really over the top. They're like on this level over here. Your production home without options is going to be a few notches lower. This community starts in about the low 6 millions. Keep in mind there's lot premium, so if you're getting the much larger lot or the premium view lot, there's going to be a lot more, and then you have your add-ons as well. Welcome to my walkthrough tour of the Farlow floor plan, which is about 4,500 square feet. It could be in excess of 4,600 square feet, depending on the options you pick. You can see as soon as you walk in, you have massive lines of sight, not only looking all the way to the backyard into the view, but then above as well. We're headed into the great room. Most of these floor plans, if not all of them, have a great room setup. I know some get disappointed at the lack of a living room, but then this one checks off all the boxes and is big enough, especially with this adjoining California room. The panoramic pocket doors create a sense where you blend the outdoors with the indoors. And you can see, even though all these lights are on, there's plenty of light coming into here. And now we're into the kitchen area, headed into the work kitchen. Work kitchen, its purpose is to keep your help or your caterers out of sight while you can maintain additional entertaining space and have the kitchen maybe just for cocktails and additional eating area. Now, what I didn't see was area for, I'll get back to that later, but then this is the flex area. You can see it's being modeled as an office. And then now we're headed into the half bath, which your guests would use when you have gatherings. And let's go on over to the downstairs bedroom. This one's 12 feet 9 inches by 12 feet. It has its own full bath, just like all the other bedrooms. And then just having that downstairs convenience is great. You can see it has a semi walk-in closet. Would have been better to me if they had its own separate entrance. Let's head on upstairs, and when I'm looking at these railings, I'm reminded of the old Toll Brothers signature element, which was the 2 sweeping staircases. They no longer have that. Now let's head over to the loft area. This one I have mixed feelings about. I always think that I would prefer a living room over this because it just creates so much more noise near the bedrooms. So let's head on over to the first of many bedrooms on this tour. This one is almost 12 by 11, and it's representative of just about all the bedrooms where it has its own separate bath. Let's head on over to the next bedroom. About identical dimensions, and you can see that it creates a good separation between the door and the sleeping area. That way there's added privacy and you're not hearing necessarily the noise of the adjoining rooms. You'll also see that they're separated by a closet in between. because on the other side of the other wall wasn't just bedroom space, it was a closet as a good buffer. Now we're going to the far end of the house with the other bedroom and almost identical dimensions of the other two, with its own separate walk-in closet and its own separate full bath. I'll take you over there as we look at this bunk bed setup over here and flat screen TVs. Here's a good view of the other side of the Pinnacle, which you, instead of looking at towards the ocean, you would be looking into the hills. Irvine designates a lot of open space near the whole Orchard Park and then Overlook Park. Now we're headed over to the primary bedroom, which is the moment you've been waiting for. But before we head on over there, let's go on over to the laundry area. Just wanted to take a peek in there. And then here's the large, spacious laundry area. You can see front loading washer and dryer because you need the extra space in front of it, and work sink. Here's the showstopper of the house, which is the primary bedroom. And you can see that there's a balcony, which is an option here, and panoramic folding doors. So you could just open that space and blend the outdoors with the indoors. Good sized bedroom here. And I believe the bedroom is 12 by 9. No, I'm sorry, I'm reading the wrong one. But it's a good size. It's the largest out of all the bedrooms. And then over in the primary bath, you can see it has 2 walls with windows and 2 counter spaces that flank the soaking tub. And then let's head on over into the thing that makes this most impressive, which is the large closet. This walk-in closet is actually larger than any of the bedrooms that we had just previously seen. And it feels like I'm in a department store over here. The dimensions that I'm reading is 20 feet 8 inches by 11 feet 8 inches. As we head on back over to the primary bath, you can see you have frameless glass headed over to the large walk-in shower. Easily accommodates 2 people, where you can have his and her shower heads on each side of it. And then we'll take one last look overlooking the downstairs area, and you see how it just has that open concept. Stay tuned for my next video, which I'll be doing the same thing on the flagship floor plan of the Skyline collection, also by Toll Brothers. The most impressive thing about this model is that it has its own casita, and this casita, it's a fully detached structure from the rest of the house. You can see it has its own separate living area, kitchenette with built-in refrigerator, and then the master bedroom in this casita, it rivals pretty much a lot of them that you'd see in townhomes and condos. You can see that the primary bath has a good space for like getting ready, and also a frameless shower in there as well. The sliding door faces the view side of the property over here in the models, and again, single loaded streets means the opposite side isn't facing another house. So subscribe to my YouTube channel for similar videos, and visit my website midriseliving.com. I'm Edwin Balloy.